Brew Happy!
We're the longest running beer podcast in the Pacific Northwest. Why wouldn't they be listening to us?
So many different beers! I got you something really good and really delicious.
Oh my God.
You listen to the Brew Happy Show, so do I. Do it.
It's not about the beer. It's about the beer.
Oh yeah, that's Brew Happy.
Hello, thank you for tuning into this Brew Happy radio show. I'm the voice of beer, and I'm with DJ Fitzmagic and JP the champion.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
How's it going, guys?
Hi.
Very good.
Yeah, the Green Goddess is goddessing it up.
Goddessing it up.
Yeah, she's doing some indoor wilding for some new clients,
Oh,
working on some new proposals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's the sound I make with that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And we are at a brand new, awesome location. We told you about it last week and the week before, and we are here. We are at TPK Brewing.
Yeah.
And I am dressed for the occasion.
You are dressed
Haha.
like somebody who's half into a Renaissance fair.
I'm wearing my elven my cloak.
It looks more like a Frodo
Yeah.
dressery than it's...
Yeah, this was my Aragorn, part of my Aragorn costume. Yeah?
It looks more like the one like Frodo or Bilbo would put on, not necessarily one made by elves.
Okay.
Probably made by weavers in the Shire.
You're being
Very
oddly
specific. I know what I was going to say.
Okay.
But we are here at TPK
Yes.
Brewing,
Yeah. And we are with some very special guests. We are with Jess Hardy and Elliot Kaplan.
Yay.
Hello.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, that was
I
better.
think you look great. By the way.
Thank you.
No,
Crushed
I'm
it.
just kidding. You're doing a great job.
Yeah. Well, I don't often dress up for a theme, but we
Yeah, that's
don't
true.
often go to a themed brewery, and this is the place for such things to occur.
This is the room in Frodo's house or
Yeah.
in Bilbo's house where they plan the travel to the mountain
This is
for Durin.
the house in Rivendell.
Yeah, no,
Elrond's house.
No, this is what is that? What is the name of the coven that heads to
The inn?
Durin?
Are you talking about?
No,
the...
we're talking about in Bilbo's house where all the dwarves gather before they head to the mountain.
Yeah, that's Bilbo's house.
I know, but what's that band called? What's the? I'll look it up.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh,
There's
okay.
a name for it. They're like it's like a coven name. Like we are the.
The band of miscreants.
No.
No.
Anyway, let's
It's
talk.
like being Boy Scouts or something.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
like the troop.
A troop,
but there's like the. Anyway.
There's someone listening.
Fellowship?
Someone's screaming.
Was it a
Right.
fellowship?
No, that was the other movies.
Okay.
Anyway, we're here and we've got beer, and let's talk about that while I dive into this.
Okay. So, guys, we thank you again so much for taking time out of your day to get your brew on with us here on the Brew Happy Show, and reach out to all the listeners who love beer and want to know more about great places like yours that they can enjoy it. So tell us a little bit about TPK. What does the acronym mean? Is it an acronym? And tell us a little bit about the theme you have going on here.
Yeah, so TPK stands for Total Party Kill.
Uh-huh.
It is a Dungeons & Dragons, or role-playing in general term, for when the entire party dies, basically.
Oh, wow.
Meets their untimely end.
Sure, yeah. That's a nice way to put it.
Is that like with a sadistic dungeon master or?
Just usually their own bad choices.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
He says the
And
forever DM.
as you
that's
all
why.
fall into the pit of fire, your
Yeah.
entire team is killed.
Yeah, I've only
End
been
of story.
I've only been a DM once, but I've never actually been in a party where somebody didn't resurrect. There was nobody left to resurrect everyone else.
It happens.
It does.
Yeah.
We were looking for a name that if you were part of that scene and it was important to you, you would kind of get it. But if not, it wasn't some intimidating specific thing. You just assume it was a brewery's acronyms or something.
Yeah.
Right on.
Our
Yeah.
initials or something.
Yeah.
I was in the Air Force, so we had a lot of acronyms, and I still remember them to this day. But yeah.
Good story.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah. I was traumatized. It was terrible. So Dungeons and Dragons isn't the only kind of activity that goes on here. You guys are kind of a resource and a hobby hole for a lot of people that like to do all sorts of different games.
Yeah, we're mostly focused on the tabletop gaming side. So games like Dungeons and Dragons, but not necessarily that particular IP.
So it's okay if people come and play Battleship or
Absolutely.
or Monopoly or what have you.
You can do whatever you want.
As long as there's dwarves involved, yes, you can play those other
okay.
games. Yeah.
Okay, all right. You gotta.
We have a small board game library, but then we have a big role-playing book library upstairs and
Okay.
miniatures library as well. So if you want to check out, like if you were at a bar and wanted to play pool and gave them your ID for some pool cues, you can do that for like a bunch of dwarves or a big ogre,
Nice.
whatever else. Someone did it for the big ship today.
Oh,
so, yeah,
okay.
that
Oh,
kind of thing.
Awesome, nice, right on. And tell us a little bit about your menu. What can people expect when they first come to TPK? What do people come to TPK
Definitely
for?
beer. That's my specialty. So beer that is thematic that goes with our in-house campaign as well. So all of my beer, I get ideas from the campaign itself. So I'll make special release beers that are timed to release when they meet that specific character in game. So you get the tie-in if you're playing the game. If not, it's damn good beer. So just come in and check it out. So yeah, so we have all made in-house. I have a tap list of beers that I make here on our 7-barrel system, but we also have non-alcoholic potions. And
Yeah. I was gonna say yes. You have 0 proof cocktails, or on my side of the bar we call them mocktails. I used to love making the mocktail menu for the
It's
teetotaler
fun.
crowd. It is a lot of
it's
fun.
great.
I mean, I make our sodas. I wanted
Yeah.
to, I didn't want to just make something for people to enjoy, like their beer. Yes, of course, have beer, have a good time.
Yeah,
but
they-
you're also here for a couple hours, hanging out, playing games.
Yeah.
I want to have a variety of things because it's just about having fun, not necessarily. It's all about me and my beer.
That's awesome. I'm really glad to see that on your menu. But you have a liquor menu. You
Yeah.
guys have a liquor license.
Yeah.
JP, he likes that. And then you have some really interesting names for some of your drinks. We have
I have too much
the
fun.
Sunshard with gin, lemon, lavender, and bergamot. You have the Lantern Festival, which sounds very festive. A barrel-aged cocktail with whiskey, Aperol, and apple. A lot of bars don't even carry Aperol, so that's
Such a great addition to
it is.
drinks. I
It
love
is.
It adds a lot.
Yeah. And my favorite is an Amaro, which you have in the Dream Wilds, cold brew whiskey, Amaro, and bitters.
That one's really good.
And then the Dawn Razor, Funeral Pyrus. I mean, these are some solid names. Whoever you guys have coming up with the names of things.
Yeah,
really
it's
good.
all actually things in game. So it makes it really easy for me to name things because these are actual items and things that people are experiencing in our in-house campaign.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we have 4 full-time folks running games and then 3 part-time folks running games. And I think we run about 30 D&D or role-playing games of various types across a week. So we
Okay.
have a lot of games going on and a big in-house campaign with 105 people in it currently.
Wow.
So they play every other week.
I died
And
last
they
week.
come together, for a big finale event where they take over the pub, and I think we had 12 tables last time. It's wild.
Do people dress up?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So just to harken back.
Oh, he loves that
I
word.
do love that word.
Good one.
I thought there was like a special enclave coven name. No. It's just Thorin and Company.
Mm-hmm.
But it refers to the dwarves who are going back to
A company.
Yeah,
A
quest
company of
Erebor.
dwarves.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Lord of the Rings, not necessarily a tabletop, but there are actual Lord of the Rings esque style tabletop games, and some Dungeons and Dragons that have specifically pulled over, like Magic the Gathering also has a
Crossover deck.
Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
deck,
Yeah.
or a couple decks.
Yeah, they've been doing theme decks since the third
They just came out with them.
release of them
They just came out with them.
back in the
They just came out with them.
90s.
They just came out with them.
Yeah,
They just came out with
more
them.
of them.
New.
New ones.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's also a Fallout one too.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're really expanding. I think there's an Assassin's Creed one. I don't know why I know
I'm
all this.
excited for the series.
So yeah, that's gonna be fun. Anyway,
Yeah.
we've.
I'm gonna do some video content on that. Anyways, speaking of names,
Beer.
I am drinking a beer called the Nameless King, and it is a Scotch ale weighing in at 8.2%. Wow. And I think. All right, raise your hand if you also have a Scotch ale. So Jess and JP also are enjoying.
All right, 3 out of 5 for the Scotch Ale.
Yeah, so tell us about this very popular beer that you that we're drinking here.
Yeah, Nameless King was a fun one. So this one I made for a character that the in-house campaign folks, Layfarers is what we call them. This is our in-house guild. That they ran into this major big bad. Last quarter, so they had one big huge fight with that NPC in December. So I wanted to time this release to go with this character. So this character, very difficult, very intense character, they're kind of, how would you describe them, like fae, dark fae-ish.
Yeah, they
very
kind of trapped in a
powerful.
tree for a while.
Yeah.
And then were accidentally freed by the group, and they had to defeat him before they took over the town.
Yeah, and figure out
I
what
guess
they
the whole
want
forest,
to do.
really,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think
pretty
I
much.
think being trapped in a tree would definitely give me an attitude problem.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, he had some valid points there, but I wanted to do something special for him. So, just thinking about the backstory, I want something also seasonal. So I wanted something more malt forward. I was thinking, what can I add a little smoke to, but not and kind of let the malt, be the star of the character. And so when I'm thinking of that, I thought Scotch Ale will be heavy, especially when you're thinking about a dark woodsy character. I was like, I think this will go great with him. So
Add the
nice.
peat. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
JP loves the
Add the
peat.
peat.
And then that was for that big 65-person takeover event. And so as they were coming in, we were serving this for the first time as like this welcome to your final battle kind of moment.
It
Wow.
was really cool to see people like try it, and it was like that light bulb. Oh, this makes sense. Like they kind of saw my inspiration for it as they were like, oh, this totally works with it.
Yeah, right on.
So is your character a meatist or a barkeep, or what is?
My character,
Yeah.
So much better.
Yeah.
my character is pretty much she's a spore lich. She's a goddess of fermentation and rot. She is a huge spore. She's wonderful. I will show you.
We have
photos.
art for it up
Spore?
front.
Cannot
Yes.
wait to see.
Wow. Okay.
I'm making a special beer for her in
I'm
a
not.
couple weeks.
I'm not nerdy enough
Uh-oh.
to spend the time and invest, but I think it's fascinating. And I do watch some of the there's a couple of people who like play D&D or play like tabletop games like video content. Like I'm like, I gotta watch it. It's hilarious to watch, and some of it can be very intriguing. And
Yeah.
That's the
especially-
gateway, though. That's how they get you.
Yeah, that's like
There you
come
go.
on in.
Yeah, you're hooked now.
So yeah, that's I got to see the art now.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, creating your character is so much fun, though.
Yeah,
It's just, what
that's
do you
true.
want to be, and who do you want to pretend to be? What's your voice going to be like?
Oh, there's a many in here.
Yeah, Ryan,
You got some in the pocket.
Ryan's hooked. He's gonna be wearing pixie wings and snorting pixie dust in no time.
I'll be a gold mongering goblin that travels around from town to town that you don't necessarily know is there until your pockets have been picked.
My new character. So I'm joining a new D&D group.
Oh, are you?
With
Just right now?
with my friend Jason Hawkins.
All of a sudden.
He's a director, and he's got some time on his hands, and he's trying to start a new D&D group in North Portland.
Sweet.
And so my character that I'm working on is a half orc, half human named Orkley, and he's surprisingly intelligent. He internally he's more human than orc, but externally he looks more orc, obviously, than human. And so he wears glasses, and he's very studious and polite, and he was raised by humans, and they only ever called him Orkley because they kept assuming somebody would come looking for him, and so they just started calling him Orkley as a nickname, and it stuck. But
That's wonderful.
I haven't gotten any further into his backstory
No, that's
than that.
great.
So-
But coming up with a backstory is so much fun, especially if you do something very complex where you let the other
Yeah.
characters in on like the story that you've dreamed of in your
Yeah.
head for like months. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun. It's really fun.
So it is. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of like coming up with a beer recipe. You're taking all of these components and these attributes that you need to have, and then you tweak things a little bit, and you're like, oh, with the recipe, you're like, well, I'm gonna add a little bit more of this or a little bit more of that, and with character builds, it's like, well, I need him to score this many points in this direction or that direction, or he needs to have more perception or agility or whatever characteristics you need.
And we've gone too far now.
Oh, have
Yeah,
we?
we've
Are
gone
we
too far.
nerding
Yeah,
out too
yeah,
much for the layman? All right.
Yeah,
well,
it's too
for
much.
you listeners out there, just Google some D&D content, and you'll get caught up. Or just watch the old cartoon from the '80s. Honestly, it's a good way to start.
There's the new movie. It's not.
The new movie's
not
coming
bad.
out.
Yeah.
New movie's coming out.
Play some Baldur's Gate.
I didn't even think the old movie was all that bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
fun.
it was a little hokey in some respects, but I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting the sequel at the end. Although I was kind of like wanting one anyway.
How do we feel about Critical Role? Because I was talking about content.
Yeah. I'm definitely in Critter.
Yeah, it's a fan favorite. Like that's what I was talking about. And some of my favorite people who are on there do other work.
Okay.
And so it's like really fun to see them do this weird kind of fun character and then go and do like their other jobs and other voice work and stuff like that.
You'll play a game and hear it and be like, oh, I know
that's my
immediately
person.
who this
That's my
is.
person.
This is
They're
Mercer.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I found that because, and I can never remember her name, and I'm such a bad. But she did the voice of Ellie in The Last of Us, and so what's her name? I don't know. I'll look it up. Anyway, that's how I found out she was doing Critical Role. I was like, oh my god, no way! It's gaming community verged with tabletops, and it's fun. It's a fun community.
Yeah.
I'm
Sure
drinking
is.
the Fog of War, by the way. Fog of War.
Yes, we do care about those things.
We do care about the beer. It is a delicious, juicy IPA, and it is packed with lots of Citra and Idaho 7. And I can taste it because I'm a big fan of those hops. This is delicious. This is really good.
Yeah,
Thank you. It's a fun one.
Yeah, he does mention the Idaho 7.
It is not as foggy as I thought it would be, but it's still pretty darn good. I can see through it a little bit.
Very, very little.
It needs to
bit.
be more juicy.
more
More
fog.
oats.
He's got a fever, and he's got to have more fog. It's the only prescription.
But it is really good, so congratulations on that. And you, sir, are drinking
I have the Bard's Tale Pale Ale.
Oh,
which,
nice.
First of all, is very fun to say.
Bard's Tale Pale Ale.
Yeah, it's great.
Bard's Tale, Pale Ale.
5% with Cascade and Citra. A little floral. Just crisp.
What is your so far? What is your favorite beer that you have made on this tap list so far?
My favorite is the Ashbringer. That one is
I was
just
gonna say that one's gonna be next.
I am having that next.
for me. It's my favorite one to brew. The brew house smells amazing. So
Yeah.
Of
when
course,
you're
all
talking
those malts, yeah.
all the malts, and I add Mexican cocoa to it. So when you add like the Mexican chocolate and the cinnamon, it smells so good in here.
So
I drove up mid brew day the other day, and the whole street smelled really good. It was
Oh,
wonderful.
I love
You're
brew days.
welcome,
Yeah,
Hawthorne.
it's one of my favorite things about living in Portland is I'll be coming across the bridge, whether I'm going to work or coming back from work, and if the Widmer Brewing, I'm just as I'm getting on the highway or off the highway, if they're doing some batches, Widmer and Ecliptic is,
it's just a wonderful
percolating at the
smell.
same
That's
time.
great.
I get that huge whiff
Yeah.
of just
There's a lot of places
malt
like that in
brewing.
Portland and in Vancouver as well.
I love it
Yeah.
so much. Yeah,
Especially in Main Street in Vancouver, you're like, I smell
I
beer.
smell beer.
That's me when
happening.
I'm on vacation.
Right.
Because I'm near a brewery, I will
Yes.
find it.
I'm in Colorado. I wonder if there's beer
I wonder,
here.
you know.
So I
Yeah.
do have a question about the Ashbringer Stout, since we were just talking about it. Is Ashbringer a reference to Warcraft for the other listeners?
This one is not.
Oh, okay.
This one is actually one of another character in our game.
Okay.
She's one of the main characters in our story that had a pretty big impact in the world that the guild is exploring right now. So
okay.
she's a complex character, and so I wanted to make different layers in this beer
A
for
fairly
her.
complex beer.
Very layered.
Very
Layers.
layered.
She's complex.
She's sweet, but she's a little bitter.
She'll stab you in the back if you don't. Yeah.
Just a little bit.
I mean,
She'll stab you in the front.
Yeah.
Some people you get to a certain age and you can't help but being a little bit bitter.
Oh, yeah.
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 Things happen. Things happen in life.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have any other beers on the table that we haven't talked about?
Oh.
All right. Well, I think it's time to thank our listeners for tuning into this Brew Happy podcast. We do this show for you every single week, every Monday night. We do Recording Right, and we try to do it at a fun beer location to tell you about all the brews that are going on in the Brewniverse. And so, if you want to check us out, on all the social medias. Please like, subscribe, give us a 4-star, 5-star rating. Leave comments. We love to hear what you think about the show or other things that you might want to hear on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, if you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/brewhappy. Little as $1, you help save the show from being destitute and poor and rundown.
But $5.
But $5, you interact with us a little bit more, and we give you some swag.
We throw you parties.
We love you more.
You might host the show.
That's actually at the $25 level.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, but we did it for Jeremy.
Jeremy puts in a lot of money.
But he also hosts us at his
gives
house.
us a lot of beer,
his personal speakeasy,
a lot of whiskey.
We love Jeremy and Jen,
and sarcastic remarks, which are free.
Oh yes, there's plenty of those. And I want to give a shout out to our newest Patreon member, yet another Ryan.
That's
Ryan
right.
Still, thank you so much for signing up on Patreon. We really do appreciate the support, and we'll be seeing you very soon at Lazy Days Brewing.
Yes, what a great guy he is. What a great guy.
All right, so we got a little bit of some tunage before we listen to some words from our friends in the industry, and we'll be right back to talk with Elliot and Jess about TPK Brewing and what else they have on the board.
Beer.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
Cheers.
Hello, I'm Jeremy from Brews for New Avenues, and you're listening to The Brew Happy Show.
This is Terry. I'm the founder of Pink Boot Society, and I'd like to invite all the women beer professionals out there to give Pink Boot Society a chance and get yourself involved. It's a great way to support Pink Boots and women in the beer industry with scholarships. Beer's an awesome thing, and the more women we can get into it, the more we're going to party.
I'm Jake. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Avery with Lazy Days Brewing. And you're listening to The Brew Happy Show.
Oh gosh. Welcome back. We are here. We are the Brew Happy Show. We do Mondays the right way. For you, the listener, the beer enthusiast, the beer drinker, the D&D player, as we are at TPK Brewing. If you like tabletop games, if you like games in general, if you like to not be yourself for an hour or two a day, maybe a week, who knows? Maybe you've morphed into your golem-like creature, and now you are nothing but that shell of a man you used to be with your 3 kids at home. But either way, you can come to TPK and find...
They also have food.
They also have food.
Are we projecting? Are you okay?
No, I'm fine.
Do you need a hug?
No, listen, I'm just talking about in general.
Oh.
Sometimes people just go too far.
Okay, yes.
We know, it happens. Yes, Envida is a beautiful food. Is it a food cart or is it kitchen?
Yeah, tell us about the food.
Yeah, so... Hello. Envida, they have a restaurant up on Fremont, and we know them through Jess over at Oregon City. And so we reached out and we're looking to see if they were interested in taking over the kitchen and kind of having a satellite location here, and they were, which is great.
Yeah.
Because we weren't going to handle the food ourselves.
No.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a whole other aspect of the business that it really is its own animal. So
Oh,
And it's
man.
so important.
I
You
can't
don't wanna
blame you,
do
but
it
yeah,
wrong. And
yeah.
it was something that, when I brewed at Oregon City Brewing, they carried one of the beers I made there, and that was the only beer that they carried over at Envida. So I got to know
Nice.
them very well.
Okay.
And so, I would travel down there specifically for their Cubano. And now I don't have to travel.
I-
I'm very happy
I
about it.
love a good Cubano.
Oh, it's amazing.
had, like,
It's
3
I
of
amazing.
them this
I
week.
just saw it and I was like, no.
Yeah.
Like, I will say, is there? I'm looking at this, what looks like to be an amazing menu. Is there tabletop fair food that they make from time to time, like like the whole turkey leg with the you would get in a tavern.
Yeah.
What's that look like?
So I think the coolest thing we've done with them so far was for that big finale event. They we wanted to do a custom menu, and so they let's see, they had this amazing roasted quail, like whole roasted quail.
That was right.
Yum.
That
Wow.
because they themed it around like this forest where the monster, the Nameless King, was coming out of this tree. So we had that. They did
the
blood sausage from scratch. That was unbelievable.
Blood sausage.
It was
It's hard to do a good blood
It was
sausage.
I was so sad
Great.
when it was gone.
Yeah, they tried to do a bear chili, but couldn't get the bear meat, so they did a boar chili that was crazy good.
Wow.
And then they had some sort of, like, was it mushroom or squash for the vegetarian?
Yeah.
It's like a soup or something.
It was more like a stew, I think.
So this is a
It was
rotating menu.
beautiful. So yeah, what we have in front of us is the core menu.
Okay.
And then they do
One-off
themed
fun
options
thing,
for
yeah.
events and that kind of thing.
That's fantastic.
So much fun. And
Yeah.
now they're going to start experimenting with our oven. So we have the huge oven because this used to be Tabor bread. So
Right.
we have a huge wood fire oven that they've been messing around with.
I was gonna ask you
recipes.
guys,
Yeah.
like, what's it like being in the old space of Tabor Bread and brewed
It's
by
a big
gnomes?
oven. It's a big oven.
Yeah.
It's huge.
How?
Its name is Calcifer.
Oh, calcifer.
Oh, we haven't
love it.
told anyone that.
Well,
That's
now
the
they
first
know.
time.
Now we
Wow.
know.
Now you know.
You heard it first on the Brew Happy
We'll,
Show.
we'll say goodbye to it on the way out.
And we did a big contest, and that's what won.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, there you go. You heard it right here. There's a cheers right there. Cheers to
To
Calcifer.
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 Yay! Cheers. Mm.
Yeah, so having that has been amazing.
What,
and
what
just-
do you cook in
Wow, that's good.
calcifer?
Nothing yet, right?
Nothing yet. I cooked beer in it. I did a beer poker event.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
What does that mean?
So it is where you get a hot poker,
Mm-hmm.
and so this poker we left in the fire in Calcifer for a while.
Okay.
Got it nice and hot.
Oh, red hot.
Used actually what we're drinking right now, the Scotch ale and or the Ashbringer, and people got a large stein with it, filled it, came over to me at the oven, got the poker, flash caramelizes it, and it foams up, and so it adds like this foam that will stay for a while. What? And it's like,
John's intrigued. John wants
yeah.
to put the fire in the beer.
it's
Yeah,
so
JP and I are on the
good.
same page.
It's really really good. So I had a great time doing that.
When
Just-
when are we doing this again?
Yeah.
I don't know. We haven't decided on it yet. The
We'll
turkey,
definitely have to.
Yeah.
We got a lot of people who are sad they missed the one day we did it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It's gonna happen again. It was too much fun.
Also, my garage is full of these steins, so I'd like to get them down here and
but
in
now
your
it's
hands.
an
I
anniversary
also have
event.
steins. Yes.
It's the anniversary plunging of the Calcifer poker.
Yeah.
So that's it. I love it.
It was really fun.
I love it. That's pretty cool.
nice. That is really cool.
Now I feel like this
Huh?
this oven would be a really cool place to safely
or a warm place.
and well yeah.
Oh, where's this going?
But it would be a really cool place to maybe do some of your own malt roasting, and see how that goes.
Not enough airflow.
No, but I didn't say. Hey, listen, I didn't have to be specific. You could just. It's just some.
John, don't crush his dreams.
Quickness that was shot
Yeah,
down.
instant.
I loved it.
Yeah, you're an
Nope.
idiot for that idea. Next. Yeah.
Am I wrong or what?
You're not wrong, but
You're not wrong.
you're not wrong. But it'd be, but
They would cook it. It
you-
wouldn't
But we
roast
do
it.
have
It would
beer
cook
plans
it.
for it.
Okay.
We
see.
do, yeah. I want to do I don't want to do anything. I want to ask Jess very nicely to make a baked beer.
Make this beer for me.
Okay.
A baked beer, is that like with a sourdough starter?
Do you want to say?
Yes,
We're not that Portland.
Good answer. I love that. That's a good answer.
definitely can't remember the name off the top of my head right now, but it is a Lithuanian style beer, which is
fun.
where I'm from
I'm-
originally.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Where you take your mash and you put it into basically like bread,
Okay.
Okay.
Trays.
whatever trays. Yeah, the high-sided ones. You bake it like 600 to 800 degrees for a couple hours.
I'm interested. I want to be there for that day.
Yeah.
And then you're sparging it without
Okay.
ever actually boiling.
I'm highly intrigued.
Super
It's either my
intrigued, yeah.
great grandma or my great great grandmother on my father's side.
Was it drunk?
No, she was a Lithuanian princess.
Oh, shit.
What?
Yeah.
They don't have a regime anymore.
She was
right?
the last.
The last. Anastasia?
No.
Okay.
Wrong family.
Oh, sorry. What's the beer like in Lithuania?
Don't know.
Have you never been?
No, but Jess and I have talked about doing a beer pilgrimage at some point.
Yeah.
Oh.
John has done quite a many pilgrimages to Germany. And
For beer
he
and
loves
Scotland for scotch.
Yeah, he does the Dortmund beer the most. He loves the Alts.
The dream.
But Lithuanian beer sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Everything I've read about it's pretty interesting with the way like the Soviet takeover
Right, of
dismantled
course.
their whole brewing culture and kind of the pockets that have remained.
Well, that's why I love listening to Jarek from Threshold talk about Polish beer and that culture and how their influence is so richly motivating the beers that they make because he's so passionate about those styles and they do a great job. But it's fun to hear, again, different people from around the world going, well, yeah, of course we have beer in Sweden. Like, well, what's it like? Can you make it here?
I think everyone listening to the show is going to judge me, but Keptinis, I think is how it's pronounced. Something like that.
I'll Google it on the break.
Okay.
Your ancestors are cringing.
Oh, they
somewhere.
absolutely are. It's not my fault. My parents, cut off that side of the...
Can I tell you, you know what it
The
sounds
family.
like? It sounds like
a linguist in your
Dishonor on
family.
your family.
Can I tell you, it sounds like a
on your
perfect
child.
opportunity for a storyline of the Lithuanian necromancers to come along and
Whoa, hey,
to make the
Nobody
the-
said
This took
anything
a
about
turn.
nobody
I know.
said anything about necromancy.
well, bring back the dead. They'll tell you all of the things that you're missing out on.
Oh,
Or
boy.
they're not an extinct people.
You're thinking
no,
of a
I mean
seance.
like his ancestors.
the actual dead ones. Yeah, that's
Just
fine.
not
I'd
like
love
there's
to
no
ask
more
them.
Lithuanians. I'm just saying like the old times. Like
I mean, we are in
hundreds
a
of years
private,
ago.
dark back room with a circle on the table.
I didn't mean to extinct your entire family. I'm just saying. I was
Well,
talking about.
I didn't mean to. Oops.
Oh,
I
good
didn't
job.
mean to. Oh,
they're
yeah,
probably
yeah.
fine.
I just
I've had a
tripped
couple
and
campaigns like that.
I
So
just
You know
tripped
what I
and genocide
mean.
happened.
You know what I mean. You know what it is? It's a butterfly effect. I just squashed that one poor lonely bug.
Yeah, are you playing a giant in
No.
this
No.
scenario?
I was just riffing on nonsense.
right.
ADHD.
All right, so are you going to join the next D&D campaign?
Yeah, I will.
Because
Let's do it.
obviously you have some imagination.
I
You
will.
need to unleash.
I'm gonna be a necromancer who brings back the ancient Lithuanian princes and princesses
All
to
right.
tell him exactly what he's saying is.
I'm surprised you
wrong.
didn't
There
go
you go.
Vigo
There's
the
your
Carpathian
backstory.
on that.
No, I won't.
And we do have a game, If I Were a Lich Man.
No, can I go?
Okay. Yeah.
If I were a lich man,
Yep.
there you go. Does anyone know that reference?
A little bit.
Okay, I'm proud of you. We'll talk about it. Right. But let's talk more about the beer. You have some fantastic beers on the table. What else is brewing inside of your mind as far as basing it on? Really, by the way, I don't know any other breweries that do such a very deep basis of their beers because usually, it's like, oh yeah, well we live here, but also there's other things going on, But like, this is a very hardcore deep dive.
Yeah, it
What
seems like
other
you guys are being specific. Is
Yeah.
there
Well, I
a
love
certain
it.
thing that you're going
'Cause
for? Tell us about your science.
Yeah, it's very selfish. I think it's what I love. It's blending two of my favorite things. So playing D&D and or tabletop role playing in general, and beer. And so I actually got into brewing by way of playing TTRPGs. So
Really?
Awesome.
So Elliot and I played many campaigns together, but years ago we would play and we'd bring in different beers and bottle share.
Of course.
Talk about beers, or hey, I picked out this bottle because it reminds me of your character or what we're going to do today, so I only got stouts or
Yeah.
And so that quickly evolved in, hey, it would be really cool if I brewed something for them and had like a special beer for my friends
There you go.
next time they played. And so that quickly became me brewing all the time, learning more about it, going to Siebel, brewing professionally. It was a slippery slope.
You
for
went
your
to
girl.
Siebel?
Yeah, we went together. We had a great time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
So
Close to that.
Close to that indeed. I have a little bit of beer left in my
Uh-oh, we
glass.
better
Okay.
take a break soon and get more beer.
So for me, it was this was the norm for me. This is where I got my ideas. It's like, oh, I could really make this for my friend. Like you're sharing an experience, right? Like, so it's, just like chefs would have a chef tasting menu where the flavors, it's doing the same thing with beer. You're messing with flavors, ideas, profiles. So for me, I just have a never ending, stream of things I could do, and talking to our dungeon masters. It's like, okay, where's the story going next quarter? What can I do to go with this?
And it's this always smelling the malts and hops. Where can I pull a story from to make a beer, and vice versa?
And
like,
now,
I'm gonna make a beer. Let's make a story around this.
And so these beers are following the story of your ongoing D&D campaign.
Correct.
And for the listeners that are not aware of what a D&D campaign is, it's that game with the dice, and you make up a character profile.
Let me tell you right now.
And you have a dungeon master.
You better roll
telling
7
the
or
story,
higher,
and
it's going to be rough.
And you're using 20-sided dice to make decisions on probability and outcomes, whether or not you are able to succeed in your quest, or even the smallest aspects, of your journey, whether you,
By the way, I feel like
whether you trip while you're going down a tunnel, or whether you, you die, whether when you get swung on by an orc,
player kill. I feel like for those of you who need more reference, season 2 of Stranger Things does a fantastic job.
There you go.
Of Hellfire Club, and then showing off how D&D can be very, very impactful.
Yes.
And which is just, by the way, is just a fun, because that was the 80s is when D&D was that was where it started. That's where it went crazy, and
this is its 50th anniversary this year.
It's insane.
And quite honestly, a lot of other role-playing games
100%,
get their mettle from this
video games.
Even video games. Yeah. So I mean, if you're into Pokemon, hey, we wouldn't have Pokemon if we didn't have D&D first. I mean, it follows a lot of the same principles and rules. Magic the Gathering definitely wouldn't have that card deck if it wasn't for D&D. I mean, a lot of things come out of that, a lot of creativity, and that's one of the main edicts and principles of the brewing industry. When you're making craft beer, you have to have that same amount of metal and creativity to make things happen. And so I find it amazing that you guys are crafting this synergy between these two headspaces.
Yeah, it's so fun, and especially when you have a team of like dungeon masters and creative people. It's like, hey, this is what I'm thinking, or tell me about your character, tell me about their motivations, what's going to happen during this event, and being able to like play off that too, and getting so excited about people experiencing that.
I have such intimate conversations with the dungeon master, because I'm like, well, this is the projected story arc for my character, and so you need to take these things into consideration.
Do I have to die now?
Because these
other
things. It
sounds like I'm not going to survive if we keep playing.
Right. So but there's been lots of characters where I'm like, I never see the fruition of a story arc, and that's the mystery of outcome.
I do have a thought.
Yes.
And you can either confirm this thought as a real thought in your head, or you can be like, yeah, that's nice. Is there down the road, maybe perchance, a spicy beer?
Oh?
There
like
is
with hatch chilies or habaneros?
I did not.
What are you thinking?
I did not
lead
way to that. Yeah, I did not lead any more into that than a spicy. Because you know what you get when you're playing.
You about to go Mario on me?
No, it's a meatball.
Spicy meatball.
But all I feel is now as she's talking and telling this story about the beer is like, what if this group of misfits is sitting around a table and all of a sudden they just drink this fiery hot liquid. Now they have so many dice rolls to cure themselves of the ailment.
Ryan, that's a good question. Jess?
There's definitely one.
Seems very similar to a thing that we've done before.
Okay.
But hasn't made it to the TPK table yet.
Okay, well,
tell us more.
Look forward to that. No.
You have to wait.
We have to wait.
You have to wait, especially because it gets so hard not telling people about the things I have in tanks, which I also appreciate. I'll write the name of things or draw on my tanks.
Ooh, I don't think people know this either yet.
And people will look at the tanks. There's a few lay fairs that will try to get ideas on what's going to happen and what beer is tied to what character, or if what's happening next.
Your beer
Just
names
label it Goober Juice.
are
Oh, I definitely had
could,
one called
could
Bug
potentially
Juice.
be
Perfect.
spoilers for a story
Exactly.
arc.
So I can't talk
Yeah,
about them.
can't talk
Yeah,
about
Bug Juice. They met the Lady of Embers,
Lady
who
of
was
Embers,
like
yeah.
a moth person.
Which is our red, and so I made that for a moth person. So I didn't want them to know. So I wrote Bug Juice, and they're like,
I
"Bug?
thought maybe we
What?"
shouldn't write Bug Juice
Are-
on
are-
something we're going to serve to humans.
So okay, in that respect,
No.
are you
Hot
formulating it into like teasers, and you're like, hey, there's
No.
some bug stuff that's going to be happening coming
little
up
bit, yep.
here.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
you
like-
better watch out!
it's
Better
like-
have your bug zappers armed on you.
No, it's definitely a little fun thing that I
Yeah,
like.
lightning spells.
Well, and I think this
you
is
know?
really great because you guys have a unique opportunity to do something that I think a lot of other breweries, even at the highest level, like people like Breakside, you're not releasing anything before it's released. You're not going, oh yeah, we're gonna make an IPA next week, and it's gonna be called, Bug Juice. Here you go. Like, okay, well, I'm gonna make a beer, and you're gonna try it for the very first
Yeah.
time, and you hear about it for the very first
There's
time
a lot of
in the middle of this campaign, and this is why. And I think that is so cool because,
Yeah.
like I said, no one else is just holding all the cards
Yeah.
and not sharing them because
There's a lot of deliberate
Yeah.
intention.
Very much so.
I'm
It's
sensing.
it's hard to keep the secret.
well,
for
it's
sure.
skill-based matchmaking. What are you talking about?
And it's hard to time, right? So you have to make sure you have your tank space. How are the yeast going to react? What day are you going to have this ready?
Ben,
Then you have an ice storm that delays all of your games for a
job.
week.
So-
Thank you.
It's great.
Thank you.
Yep.
I was just going to ask, what happens when something goes wrong? Because I know that the weather that we had recently, has affected a lot of businesses and
The
especially
dungeon
the
master
breweries.
has to shift his party times.
If
That's
you
the thing.
can't show up to work to do something with a batch or whatever, or other things happen, like how does that affect that synergy, that process that you guys are incorporating into your brew?
I think on the scheduling side, all of our lay fairs were very flexible, which I appreciated.
Yeah, they were
Awesome.
And very, everyone was understanding
Nice,
that
right.
the
Of
whole
course,
city was
yeah.
shut down.
Yeah.
But we'd also baked in enough time between their last normal game and the big finale that we could add an extra session for all of them. So
Okay.
that worked out.
Okay.
And then I happen to live close enough that I can follow Jess's
Oh,
instructions.
you're going to make fun of me.
Very
again.
clear instructions on how to do whatever I
Hey,
need to
the
do if she
stuff
can't
I'm
make
able
it
to
in.
do in Paint is impressive. I try to show him how to do things.
Are you talking about Microsoft Paint?
You know, maybe I am.
I like Microsoft Paint.
So-
And I thought it was
direct.
art.
We lost power the day was 14 out,
Uh-huh.
and it got to 28 in here, and so we got to the point where we were going to start draining things before they froze.
Okay.
And I got some beautiful pictures on how to do that.
I realized.
Sorry,
I
beautiful
never-
drawings on how to do that.
I realized I didn't take pictures. I did as soon as I got back in. I didn't have really good pictures of my panel,
Mm-hmm.
so I really couldn't tell him what pipes needed to be drained, how to drain the HLT, like all these things.
Right.
And so, yeah, I was on
MS
Paint.
Paint.
Yeah,
And thankfully
Okay.
the power came back on, and I didn't
I
have
had
to
butterflies as butterfly valves. It was art. Okay.
All right.
It was.
We're gonna put that on Instagram later. Don't you worry, folks.
Yeah. All right.
If you want behind the scenes here, at TPK,
Only for the patrons,
yeah,
right?
All of the
Yeah.
Patreons.
Yeah.
there
What,
you
yeah,
go.
what icon do you use for tri-clamps?
Oh,
Like a Triforce
There
from
you go.
Zelda?
should have.
You should
Ideas
have.
for next time.
Next
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hopefully you have pictures. Like,
I
hopefully there
got-
is no next time.
I got lots
Oh
of
my
them.
gosh, no, next time would be great. So yeah, so we're able to catch up a little bit. It's one of those things like, well, now I'm not going to be able to reuse that yeast now. I got to buy a new pitch.
That's
Yeah.
tough. Yeah, that's
Double
tough.
brew day last week,
There you
which
go.
you weren't expecting.
Yeah. Now, how often do you guys run into that? How often do you run into double brew days?
It just all depends. Once every couple weeks usually. I'll
Okay.
hurry up and do a double brew, which it's a long day for me. I'm the only brewer, so
Yeah.
it's a day, but
So
it's
you
totally
guys-
worth it.
So you guys have a pretty stacked deck. How often do you incorporate like a new beer into your schedule?
So for me, I mean, things happen like Shebrew. Definitely want to do Shebrew, right?
Right.
So
Yes, we were
course.
just talking about that last week, and
March
we have a
10th.
we have a
Yes,
show
yes,
with
yes.
them coming up.
Nice. I love them.
Yes.
They came over here and we chatted, and they're good folks. So for Shebrew, for example, it's an extra one that I popped on the list. So one of our beers is a wheat called Improvised Weapon.
Ooh.
And what I liked about Improvised Weapon, if you don't know what Improvised Weapon is, anything could be a weapon if you try hard enough.
Frying pan.
Right.
So you have actual damage for whatever's in
A
armor.
rolling pin, a chair
Whatever you wanna
leg,
do.
a microphone stand.
Exactly.
Whatever
That
you
was
got.
specific.
Very specific.
I'm just looking around the room.
Oh, yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, no.
I'm feeling like I need to move. Well, if your arms reach. Anyway,
Hey,
moving on.
hey.
So things like that. So since it's improvised weapon, then I could improvise a little bit with it. So this time for She Brew, that is going to have a lot of guava in it. So it's going to be a sticky damage weapon.
Ooh, yes, I like. That sounds delicious.
I
I can't
do
wait to
too.
drink it. I'm gonna be there.
Yes.
March
Is it-
10th, guys. It's
Yeah.
going to be a fantastic event. We've been
Coming
talking
up.
about it. We love the She Brew event as it supports and celebrates women in craft beer. It doesn't take place on National Women's Day, but it is right after. And so, guys, make sure you get your tickets as soon as they come online. Shebrew.beer.
Yeah.
Go do it. I love
And-
it.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk about some more brew news.
I think
after,
they're online now.
after the
I
break.
believe they are online.
Yeah, I think
yes.
they are.
Yes.
Also, as of tomorrow,
Whoa.
you can get your tickets for the Firewalker Invitational Festival down in Paso Robles, California
Holy shit.
on June 1st. Don't forget also, if you have tickets and you might have forgot because you live in a dark cave, because it is February the 17th coming up, is Festival of the Dark Arts.
Well,
Make sure you get yourselves down to Astoria. Even if you're not
yeah.
there for the festival, get down there. There's lots happening, lots of beer to drink,
Yeah.
and the 18th is when all those Fort George beers release.
okay.
But
Are we
there's
doing?
no there's no hotel rooms.
There's no hotel rooms. You sleep
No,
on the
no.
on the coast.
Yeah.
I'm definitely I'm
yeah.
staying on the coast.
Yeah.
I will be there, but
Uh-huh.
I'm staying on the coast.
I'm not opposed to camping in a tent on the beach. I've done it before.
Worth
There you go.
it.
I do
Yeah.
have one question for you, Jeff, before we
Yeah.
go to break.
So-
You've been brewing for how long now? Not just with TPK.
Oh goodness. Let's see. What are we going on now? 7, 8
24.
years? Yeah.
I was saying 2024.
Yeah. No.
How many years?
Just 2024.
We said
Probably
you're
about-
asking what year.
No, I was asking like I think we're going on 8 years, 7, 8 years.
So, in your professional
Yeah.
and maybe personal opinion, who is one of your favorite brewers in the industry?
Yeah. Anybody that you've worked with or not worked with?
Oh, that's an easy one. Dave over at Oregon City.
Oh, nice.
Ah.
We love Dave.
My
You love
favorite
Dave.
human. That's my mentor.
Yeah?
Yeah. Without everything that I learned there, I don't know if TPK.
Close to Dave.
Yeah.
He is the man.
We have his picture hanging in the wall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we-
I literally have his
Down the hallway.
I have his
Is there a
brewer's card.
shrine?
There is.
We have a
He's
we have a
my
picture
dude.
of Dave Voden, and it was like his third
So
week
long ago.
at 13 Virtues. when
Oh,
he
is
just-
this-
Oh,
is-
sweet.
and he's inside the
Yeah.
tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just did his 1000th batch at Oregon City, and so
Wow.
Michael Cora over at Montevilla.
Montevilla, yeah.
They've been close friends for years since the 13 Virtues days.
Of course.
Man.
we're all so close. But he gave me a picture, an old picture like that of Dave, and so I photoshopped it and said like, "Congrats on your 1000th beer."
Aww.
Yeah,
That's
back when he
fun.
was like clean shaven and very short hair, he looked so different.
days. That's right.
Oh.
He looks very different.
Long time
Wow.
I was
I
like,
can't
this is what
wait.
1,000 batches does to you.
ago. You literally are aging with beer.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
man.
Well,
The-
sometimes, you just get carried away with the barrel program.
The Invita guys have worked with him for quite a while, and they refer to him as Beer Jesus all the time.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep.
Beer
No,
Jesus.
He's just being able to do whatever we wanted to do there. I mean, it was the two of us, 40 beers on tap. The
Yeah, that's-
creativity
yeah, it's a
there
lot.
was let's go, and plus
Yeah.
the barrel aging. Dave's my hero.
Is there anyone that you are very maybe anxious or excited about doing a collaboration with in the industry?
Oh man,
Because there's
There's a
some
lot out
there's
there,
some people
yeah.
out there, men and women, who are fantastic brewers.
I would freak out if I got to meet Fal, like brew with Fal. Oh, you're gonna laugh at me. I know,
You,
whatever.
you did get to meet him.
I didn't. I fangirled at Anderson
Allen?
Valley. Yes, he walked by me and I was like, "It's the Godfather of Goza."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not recognize him
Godfather of Goza.
and just said hi like a normal person.
yeah.
No,
Hi,
I was
how's it going?
intimidated.
Yeah. Well, I
Aw.
mean, there's people out there who've been doing it for either A, so long, or B, with so many damn medals under their belt. It's like, how do I talk to them and
Yeah,
not be a weirdo? I get it.
I do
foot in my
too.
mouth
Because
instantly.
when I first started
Same.
doing the
Same.
show, there were people that I just straight up wouldn't interview because I was like, they're not going to want to talk to me. I'm just some guy on a rinky-dink little puff microphone while running around in a festival.
My first brewery
Like,
was
nobody
Von
wa-
Ebert. I
Right.
mean, that was intimidating as heck.
Wow.
Like, okay, let's start brewing with Sam and Maddie. And
Yeah.
Well, but here's the thing is, and I get that way, and I know Ben would think I'm an idiot, but every time I see Ben Edmonds, I'm like, hi, Ben. And he's like, oh, hey, how's it going?
Oh, those 2 a.m. thoughts.
and he
like,
just-
oh, what did I just say to Ben?
And I'm like, oh,
no.
Well, and every once in a while, because I know he's got a lot on his mind, I'm like, hey, man, how's it going? He knows who I am. He knows who the crew is. He's been on the show dozens of times. But every once in a while, when I see him out, like, at a festival or just at a thing, I'm like, hey, man, okay, good to see you. Because he's just up there, and I just respect him so much because he gives so much to the beer community, but it's tough. That's one of those guys, I'm like, I don't want to bother him.
Yeah.
But then you do, and you're like, that was a good thing I bothered him for.
So before we go into break,
sorry.
I have a parting thought.
Oh.
We got we had a personal message sent to us by Jen McPoland of the McPolanders.
We're gonna see her in like
and
a week.
they have named their most recent addition to their tap list that they brewed themselves, which is a hoppy lager, and it is called Sup Bitch.
Yeah.
It's
that was there when they were brewing that.
Yeah.
Jen is a wonderful human being.
So Jen said that Ryan would appreciate that. She wanted you to know, Ryan, that she was thinking of you when she named it. And they're going to be on the show soon in the next couple of weeks. So
I do love Jen, and I told a story to her, and I'll tell you real quick because it's a fantastic story. I was watching a video online, and there was a dark-haired woman riding a scooter, motorized like electric scooter, down the sidewalk. And as she drove past the camera person who was holding like a cell phone, she goes, "Sup, motherfuckers!" Just like Jen would. And then 10 seconds after that, ate hard shit concrete. And I laughed hysterically, thinking, God, that looks like it would something Jen would do. And I felt horrible about laughing at it. And then I told Jen, she goes, that would be something I would do. And so there's my Jen McMullen story. So
okay.
I mean, if you're clumsy, you got to be self-aware about it.
I mean,
I am.
Yeah, she's got brand new knees. Don't destroy them, please don't.
Have you seen my cold room and how tight of a squeeze it is in there? You should see my back.
Let's go.
We made some choices.
You made some choices.
We made choices.
The
he
building
says.
made choices.
That's a great segue to a break right there. We made some choices.
Without breaking a hip or a leg, we're going to leave you with some Brew Happy tunes. As well as some words from our friends in the industry. We're going to be right back with some brew news and some Whiskey Corner with JP. Cheers.
This is Alan Sprentz from Hair of the Dog Brewing Company, and you're listening to The Brew Happy Show.
I'm John Paul from Paul Cigars. Everyone knows I think craft beer is awesome, but so is my huge selection of cigars. You can get all your favorite tobacco products at any one of my conveniently placed locations in Beaverton, East Vancouver, and my headquarters store on Jansen Beach. Our wide selection and helpful staff will make your visit so very satisfying. You might even want to have a beer to celebrate. So come on in and check us out. For more information, contact us at paulcigars.net.
Hi, this is the Green Goddess of Portland, here to bring interior wilding to your space. Offering local consultations, weekly plant care, pest solutions, rare plant curation and sales. This houseplant hobby has cultivated a worthy collection backed by knowledge and experience. And now I want to help you make your business beautiful. Contact Bronwyn, the Green Goddess, at greengoddessbotanic@gmail.com and Green Goddess Botanic on Instagram.
This is Kevin.
And this is Tim at Steeplejack Brewing.
And you're listening to The Brew Happy Show.
Damien, I need more beer.
Welcome back, travelers, to TPK Brewing and the Brew Happy Show. We are having a fantastic time with Jess and Elliot as we dive deep into the catalog of not only beer, but myths and lore.
Yeah.
If you don't know what we're talking about,
Games.
you should probably turn your earbuds on and listen a little harder at what's going on here.
We have all kinds of awesome lore and fantastic.
We're on a quest to find the scrolliage of beer that depicts all the secret ingredients that Jess uses.
Winding stories of adventure.
I mean, that might be a good one to adventure on one day.
Yeah,
We'll find out. We won't know. You have to come to TPK.
Yeah. Now I was wondering
Do it.
before we go on to the next segment.
How dare you?
Jess and Elliot. With TPK, you guys probably have a lot of people that come through here and they do their own special events and stuff. Tell us a little bit about the process. If somebody, one of our listeners wanted to come in and do an event or have a time here, what do they need to do? Do they just go to the website and sign up, or do they need to call and make a reservation? How does that happen?
The best way is on our website. You can rent either if you want to rent a table and you have your own GM, you can just do that. We basically do it at cost. Your rental fee becomes your bar tab essentially.
Okay.
So we just want the community using it and try and keep our tables full. You can also book our GMs on the site, outside our campaign.
Is this specifically the upstairs space, or can they be anywhere they need to be?
We on the site, it's either the upstairs space or this back room that we're currently in, so that you're kind of in a gaming space where we at least have some sound dampening.
Okay.
You can play wherever.
There's some nice. I was gonna say there's some nice dampening curtains you have here in the back.
Yeah.
You could probably fit 7 people comfortably, which is really intimate. That's a fun little game. Absolutely.
But the upstairs sky lounge in the back corner nook where
It's
we're
giant.
at, these are probably the most ideal spaces for
because
that.
of the sound dampening, and you're more cozy.
Yeah.
You could
It is very
game in the
cozy.
front, and if there's a table open, just swoop on it and have a
Yeah.
good time. Play whatever game you want.
Okay.
But if you want the sound dampening and you want that experience, I'd
Right on.
recommend doing
Most
that.
nights we have probably 3 or 4 big board games going in the front room.
There you go.
It's great for that. So you don't need to be able to hear people, pretending to be an orc or a goblin or whatever. But yeah, upstairs we try and keep them a little separate so that you can have those dramatic moments.
And then people are obviously encouraged to dress up.
Yes.
And
It's Portland. Keep it weird.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's. I know that it's family friendly. Obviously. Is it dog friendly, or is that something that because of the food permit is not a thing?
Yeah, we can't have them inside because of the food permit,
Okay.
but we are expanding outdoor seating sometime in the next couple weeks now that it's, we'll see what
Springtime.
happens, but when springtime hits,
That's
I'm
where I was
doing
going with that.
Picnic benches on the front and then all along the side of the building.
This weekend
Beautiful.
we had quite a few people. It was such a nice weekend.
It
So
was a
people
nice
were
weekend.
outside with their dogs.
I was going to ask you about the outdoor seating.
Tabor Bread left their old tables, so
So we
they've been in my
took those out.
backyard for 2 years. and we
Repurposing,
brought
yes,
them down,
yes, yes.
Okay.
but we're going to replace them with some kind of permanent built-in benches and stuff.
Killer.
Great.
Well, let's talk about the Ashbringer.
Yes. So this is actually so that name has actually even popped up in Diablo when I'm playing
great.
Diablo. So
5.5% ABV stout with a 39 IBU. It's an easy drinking stout made from Mexican cocoa and cinnamon sticks.
oh, you mean the beer?
Roasted with bitter dark chocolate finish. Ashbringer.
It's
Okay.
only 5.5 stout.
It's easy drinking.
Yes, it is.
Well, we don't have to talk about Diablo, but
I mean, I'm here for
Are you?
it's just one of the
Have you already
greatest
beat
games
Diablo 4?
ever.
No. Have you beat Diablo 4?
I haven't.
Okay, well, we're not going to talk about
I'm
it.
still
then.
having fun with
Next.
Diablo 3 and Fallout 4.
Next.
Good gamer.
Jess and I did meet working in video games.
You
That's
know,
how we know each other.
there's only so many hours in the days, guys. You're with me.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been Diablo 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Oh, what a flex!
It's,
Wow.
You
right.
gotta play all the new
Oh.
seasons. Yeah. No. This is a fantastic beer. Let's bring it back to the beer.
Okay.
It's really delicious, and I like the little bits of cinnamon, but it's nice and dark. It's
Very
malty.
very subtle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely didn't want it to be overpowering, but something that you could definitely hint at, and I think just plays really well with a Mexican cocoa. So second iteration is in the tank right now.
Yeah, it works well.
I'm real excited for second iteration.
Is this something that you guys are going to be barrel aging? Do you guys have a barrel aging program?
I barely have room to fit me in this space.
Okay. I understand.
I love barrel aging at Oregon City, and it's definitely it's a skill that I like working on. It's something that, especially as a home brewer starting out, you don't barrel age, right? So once you go pro, it's like, this is all I want to do. I want to mess with sours. I want to mess with barrels. I want to learn about this.
Right.
So definitely something I would love to do. We always joke about another location or the house.
If the neighbor's right behind us, you can see their house right there. If they're listening to this and they want to lease us their basement, because it has a nice garage ramp right into it, we will happily take them up on that.
I was gonna say, you gotta know some people, probably really, really close. You're like, hey, listen, I'm gonna store these 3 barrels for like 7 months. I'm sure someone will.
Yeah.
7 years.
I think it's getting the barrels there that has been the problem for us.
Yeah, it's a tough one, especially if they're full of liquid. Yeah.
Because I would volunteer my garage, but I got to get my buddy's welding stuff out of there.
They're perfect, right? Just open up this window.
Just back right in.
Just knock it out from here.
Roll it down the ramp.
Just have a long enough hose, and I'm good.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Now, I would just think that this would be an okay place to put like 4 or 5 barrels. Just get this table out of here and just put it back here.
Right? Hey!
I know the Nook.
Where are we gonna podcast?
The Nook.
We need the Nook. We need the Nook, Ryan.
We could have been upstairs, but you chose the corner.
Oh, okay.
We are already full on gaming space most nights.
see.
We need more gaming space.
That's true too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
All right. That's why there's a balance.
There
I'm
you
like,
go.
yes, barrels.
I have a question before we get into the news and the whiskey. Is there in the future going to be and I always think of my ideas being fully formed, a tavern style mug club at TPK Brewing?
Maybe with steins.
So
like wooden
Can
or,
we bring
or,
our own
or
stein?
horns.
Oh, you'll have to check them out on the way out. We have some pretty cool. They look like barrels, but they are ceramic, and they have the names kind of. Oh, Jess is gonna go get one etched into them. We did a crowdfunder before we opened to publish so we're a publishing company too. I don't, like your average brewery.
Yeah, of course.
So we are publishing our first book, which is a prequel to our in-house campaign, so that people could kind of see what's up with the Ashbringer on their own.
God.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
To fund that, we had a mug club.
I'm learning this along with the listeners.
I just spilled beer.
You're fired.
I mean, I got excited about the mug club. Mug. Not club, but mug. Damn. That was the Ashbringer, too. That's really cool. Thanks for sharing that, Elliot, before I spilt my beer.
You have some of mine.
No, thanks. I'm good. Well, that's pretty darn cool, and I love that. And is that, like, how going forward you're going to potentially have a mug club, or no?
We
What's the answer?
hadn't originally planned on it, but we've had a lot of requests for it. So I think it seems pretty likely, but we'll have to kind of figure that out as we get closer. They signed up for a year, so as we get closer to the end of the year.
I love the idea of having the tankard or a goblet style of, like drinking apparatus as being part of the mug club, especially if like you had one of each, because who doesn't love a good chalice or something of that nature. Which, by the way, I bought my brother for Christmas.
Oh, how's he doing?
He just had an appendectomy. He's good. I bought him
at 34?
A Slytherin House.
How old is he?
Goblet. Yeah, he's 34.
Yeah. Oh, I got that right.
Yeah, he got appendicitis, and so he had his appendix out on Wednesday evening.
At 34? Wow, that is so unusual.
Just weird. It happens.
He had it the whole time, and all of a sudden decided I didn't want to be there.
Yeah, didn't want to be there. But
I still have mine.
I bought him a Slytherin House goblet.
Okay.
For Christmas.
Oh.
Nice.
And he was like, I told him, I was like, dude, listen, I got you a present. I'm
Does-
not gonna. Yeah.
Does he keep the goblet where the appendix used to be?
Yeah,
Because that'd be a
absolutely.
great storage
No.
space since he's not using that anymore.
Especially if it's a Horcrux, he wants to keep it safe.
Yeah, there you go.
But he keeps it on a shelf, and I told him, I was like, listen, you're gonna love this. and
Wait, the
you're-
appendix or the mug?
Both.
Okay.
So he
in them
he
mug?
no,
Oh.
separate jars.
Okay.
He put it in his cabinet. He's like, I only drink whiskey from this.
Oh,
and I was like, good man, good job.
Yeah.
How-
But it's
how
it's
much
the
does he,
chalice,
like,
not the
fill
appendix.
it?
no. He puts he it's usually
Just
like
a-
it's
just
usually
a
like 2
stein
shots. Yeah.
full. Right.
No, it's a
Yeah. You know.
goblet, so it's only that big and only that. I mean, it's a fairly shallow goblet. And I got it online, so it's probably not so cheaply sealed.
I
but
think JP likes the TPK goblet.
I do. Looks like Alistair is the name of that goblet.
Yep.
Yes.
But that's pretty cool. But yeah, I like the idea of having goblets and tankards and chalices in the shop to fill your beer with. Also, I just like the simple logo you guys have with the traveler's backpack, and there's a crystal gem and a sword hanging out of it.
Alistair isn't a tall, bald fellow that used to work on sound, is he?
Jesus Christ.
No.
Didn't work on sound.
Okay.
Very British.
Very British.
My old sound guy was Alistair.
Hey, just gonna tell you, you're gonna have to wash these cords because they're full of beer now.
Oh, that's okay. I usually
Not the first time.
I usually give him a wipe down.
Sorry, guys.
Probably already full of beer.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, it's happened before.
This
John, you-
room's definitely full of
It's
beer.
usually Ryan.
John, do you wanna? It's sometimes it's Ryan. Sometimes it's you. Do you wanna do whiskey first or news first?
Never. I don't have whiskey, but I have talk about beer.
You can talk about your beer, and I'll talk about the news in a second.
There we go.
Go
Okay. So this weekend was the weekend before Valentine's Day.
Okay.
And of course, we know what that means, don't you?
You
Not until
gotta
you
get
tell me.
you gotta get your greeting cards and your flower orders in.
This triple IPA weekend.
Oh,
Everyone
that's
releases
triple
their triple
IPA.
everyone. So there's Pliny the Younger, which of course have been traditional forever.
Yes.
And that was released around town about 6 or 8 places.
Okay.
But everyone else released stuff too. And I actually have to admit, I tried a Fort George von Ebert triple IPA right next to the Pliny. And me and Sue both preferred that one.
Oh, so, wow.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That's pretty steep.
That was a very good, that was a very good triple. I think they're, before Pliny, I think used to just be the only one, so they could do what they want. Now other people are trying to do stuff and trying to beat their taste.
Right.
So that was pretty good. It was a interesting weekend.
Yeah.
I also just started drinking vodka espresso martinis.
What?
Oh,
Yes. With fresh espresso.
with actual espresso in it.
Yes, fresh. Not the. I tried one with the liquid. That was sucked, but the fresh espresso was fantastic.
Okay.
What?
I've had them with fresh espresso
Yeah.
too. And yeah, 3
So
hours
that's what
later, I had to be pulled off the walls.
Well, the key is here. What I do is I always. That's my first drink.
Yeah.
When
the
when
first drink.
When I go play
That's
cards.
what I did wrong.
I go play cards. That's my first drink.
Okay.
So then after that, then I just drink Guinness in the can because I can't trust their taps.
So wait, what is this drink?
Espresso.
Espresso martini.
Oh, got it,
Martini,
got
It's
it.
fresh. It's vodka.
So it's a
fresh
fancier
espresso,
Four Loko.
and it's bitters, and it was and they put a little cream in there. It's pretty fantastic.
You will at some point create a character that is exactly like John Paul. Old, but you would never know it because he runs laps around the block and he's taking espresso shot martinis
Got
and
it.
he's playing poker till 2:30 to 4:30 in the morning and
Sometimes 6 in the morning.
right he's
The homeless guy wouldn't move out of the
you're
door
never
last
gonna
week.
find a better character arc than this guy right here. I worked in a bakery and now I sell cigars, but would you like to try some whiskey? It's peated.
Also, I have rum.
Yeah, I also have rum.
For this guy.
That only for me.
Back up for
I'm not sure.
For me, I just got like the trench coat, and just everything
That's
is like
exactly
lined
who
up with the
he
trench
is.
coat. Okay, got
Well,
it.
I do have Armagnac too, and
Oh,
a bunch
Yep.
of sherry
And
things.
tomorrow.
Yeah. And
fuck.
grappa, working on grappa now. So
I do love some grappa.
Espresso martini. I have no
yeah.
idea.
Yes,
Espresso
it's
martini.
fantastic.
Got it.
I don't
Fancy
think the
for
the key
TTV
is-
will ever approve it, but Jess does have a very good Four Loko
The key
homebrew
is
recipe.
the fresh espresso, though.
Okay, I'm coming over.
Fresh
for that.
espresso. Not a lot of times they use like a bottle of old espresso or something.
right.
The key is actually someone with the espresso machine.
Yeah, oh, okay.
I'm gonna go have one right after we leave here.
I bet you are.
Wow.
Right you are.
Are you doing brew news?
I am. I'm going to do it right now.
Before you do that, while you're getting geared up, I just want to give a shout out to Double Mountain over in the St. John's area. Thank you for a wonderful date night.
When last night?
That's not news, but all right.
2 nights ago. No, it's not news. That's why I was doing it before the news.
I don't remember our date there. What happened?
No, I didn't go on a date with you.
Oh, okay.
You don't remember much.
I went on a date with my fiance,
Oh,
Bronwyn.
well, that's good. Thanks.
Yeah,
Thank
because
God.
that's how that's done.
There we go.
I will
always
say,
a good time when I go to Double Mountain. I went for pizza day.
Okay, great job.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's where they have great pizza.
You're still talking.
All right.
You
can do your news now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I do have 2 bits of news that aren't on the news.
Only 2?
But no, I have more than that. But I have 2 bits that aren't on the news.
Okay.
I would be happy to announce that our friends over at Barrel Mountain, who are out of Battleground, Washington, have opened up their second location off of St. John's Road in Vancouver, which also houses pizza.
Hey, all right.
So we're gonna give them a shout out, and
they missed Pizza Day, but they may be in time for Pizza Week.
That's true.
That's still coming up.
So that's cool for them. And unfortunate news.
Oh.
Our friends over at Coin
Coin
Toss
Toss.
are saying goodbye.
Oh,
and
like
throwing in the towel.
Like all in.
They're putting a new owner in, and Tim's out. I think it's been 8 years. He's tired.
Yeah.
They love the industry. They're focusing on some other things now.
Tim
but
does love the industry.
Tim loves the industry.
Yeah.
We're gonna have Tim Hull on the show here soon, and just kind of get his final words.
I think we should. Yeah, I know. I feel like we should have gone down there to Oregon City a little more to spend some time with him and David Voden over at
We should do
Oregon
that.
City Brewing.
Let's plan that for March or
It's just,
April.
It's it's a little bit of a stretch for both of us.
It
all
is
of
a
us
drive,
to get to,
but
especially
it's
you guys
worth it,
from
yeah.
Vancouver.
Oh, I don't mind. John doesn't mind.
Yeah.
Oregon City, it's not that much. We're probably the same
extra-
distance
yeah,
as you are.
We've done them.
It's extra 15 minutes. Doesn't matter.
We've done Oregon City.
Doesn't
It's just a bit
We're
of a
East
hike.
Vancouver. That's just 205.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
And now it's time for the news. Brought to you by newschoolbeer.com and brewpublic.com. We have the news of brews down your avenues. Our friends over at Breakside Brewing reveal the 2024 beer release calendar with freshened up lineup. Now, this year-round beer release calendar also involves some new cans.
Okay.
Beers you can find in can. Those include the Breakside IPA, Wonderlust IPA, Breakside Pilsner, Rainbows and Unicorns, the Breakside White, which is a wit beer, which is delicious, Stay West IPA, the True Gold, What Rough Beast at Portland IPA, the Luz Natural, and Double Wonderlust IPA.
Oh.
And if you're wondering what the Luz Natural is, well,
I just was actually.
yeah, you were. It's the latest addition to Breakside's year-round lineup, and it is a classic pale Mexican-style lager.
Okay.
With 2-row malt and a grip of Canadian-grown Pilsner malt. It's flaked with corn to give the beer a light body, crisp finish. It's available in 19.2-ounce cans.
Bibliote.
Breakside would also introduce Black Swift Stout in its year-round draft-only lineup. So if you want a nice stout from Breakside, that's the one you should choose.
Okay.
Freem Family Brewers expands its Freemsters Union Beer Club. That's right. The operating of Freemsters Union Beer Club since 2019 now initially has launched its more and expansive 2 tiers of club membership. The new Artisan Club, a tier designed for those who cherish a blend of barrel-aged beers and seasonal ales and lagers, alongside the new offering of the Cellar Club, which continues to provide members with exclusive and carefully crafted barrel-aged bottles. Freem truly does outdo themselves.
Yeah.
And
that sounds like they got a really nice basement.
their beers, they one that TPK probably would love to have as well.
Hey.
There you go.
We'll get there.
Our friends over at Bellbreaker collaborate with Breakside, Barley Browns, and Von Ebert.
Wait, would that be Bale Breakside? Is that their couple name?
Von Brown Ebert? Von Brownbert?
No.
Anyway, Friends IPA.
Okay.
Friends IPA is a delicious beer and is always a collaboration between a couple of different breweries. This is 6.3%, and it is got some West Coast IPA thoughts and love to it, with our friends over at Von Ebert and Breakside, of course, loving the IPA game. Go get yourself some of that. Do it right now. Our friends over at Firestone Walker and adjunct to their invitational beer fest have expanded the Mind Haze with Brain Melter and Cosmic Crusher.
Is that a nod to the Mind Flayer?
No.
Okay.
But
It's good. That's very copyrighted.
I mean, we're
that's a really bad thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of tiptoeing around.
Yeah. Not quite there.
D&D names just feels like they're.
That's good.
Right?
Thanks, man.
I'm not the only one that noticed similarity. No. Okay.
No, you're just stretching it hard.
Hey, that's what she said.
So try one of those 2 new flavors from Firestone Walker. Elysian Brewing debuts Juice Dust Juicy IPA. What would be the Space Dust is now Juice Dust.
Oh, JP, did you hear that?
There you go.
Did that.
They changed the Space Dust to Juice Dust.
No, there's a new one.
They knew it. It added.
They added. They didn't change the first one.
Okay.
They just made another one.
All right.
Jesus.
So I'm just making sure. I'm
That's
looking out for your best interest.
Jess is laughing hysterically. 8.2% ABV, Elysian Brewing has come up with a satisfying double IPA that is both contemporary and honors the rich tradition of Northwest IPAs.
Okay.
Juice Dust. Do it. Fracture Brewing triple can release Wednesday. That's right. As of the 7th, they have new IPAs you want to drink. Disco Fever, Hype Machine, Hidden World, and the Art Factory. The Disco Fever is a hazy IPA at 7%. The Hype Machine, Hidden World is a hazy IPA at 6%. And the Art Factory is a nice West Coast IPA at 6.8%. Check out the can art. It's beautiful. If you want to drink it, I'm sure it'll be delicious as well. Speaking of Pizza Day, you mentioned Pizza Day. Assembly Pizza Annex is open now as of February 9th.
We love Assembly Pizza.
Yeah, I'm proud that Assembly has this beautiful location and they're serving delicious pizzas.
Wow.
You guys can go check them out and enjoy not only some great beer, but some great pizza as
Drink
well.
local, support local. That's what we're all about.
I think that does allow kids,
Yeah,
which is very
they do.
exciting for
They
us
do.
parents.
Yeah. I'm gonna have a 4-year-old on Friday, so yeah, gotta take that little shit somewhere.
Wow.
I
Yep.
love her. I love her. This past weekend, Stormbreaker Brewing celebrated 10 years in the beer industry, and we are so proud of the work that they have done. Thanks, John. Just right into the mic. 10 years of vintage beers were released, as well as an anniversary beer and some whiskey tastings, live music, and lots of fun for the kids as well as a anniversary mocktail menu.
Mocktails are
that they
great.
released. So if you guys haven't been over there to check out Stormbreaker, give them a shout out. Tell them happy birthday.
Stormbreaker.
And get yourself some beer. Last but not least, Hopworks Brewery adds ridiculous. It is ridiculous, but it's probably delicious. Hazy IPA to its seasonal lineup.
Yeah.
This ridiculous hazy IPA is a new one.
Whoa.
It's got some tangerine, some lychee, some peach, some mango, and some Citra Idaho 7 and Eldorado, along with some Sabro
Well,
hops.
call me when they come out with the redonkulous.
There you go. 6.6%, 55 IBUs. Get yourself some now. You can also get them in 12-ounce 6-packs at any of your fine establishment and retailers throughout the Pacific Northwest. Congratulations to all of those new brews and beers. Go drink them.
Okay.
Do it now.
And I just had a little shout out to Ordnance Brewing. We
Who blow up our Instagram feed
all
every
the
day.
time. Yeah,
But it's like
Ordnance loves us. They're out in Wilsonville, so
some of their content is great. I'm like, yeah, I want to be there. If I didn't have to drive to Wilsonville.
I do want to be there. So if you are anywhere remotely near Wilsonville, check out Ordnance Brewing. They are always in our Instagram feed. If you don't know who they are, there was an Ordnance Brewing sighting in Portland, not far from my house, last Tuesday, the day after last week's show. And
Is that what it was?
we found them at Lowe's parking lot. I don't know what they were doing, but we couldn't track them down in the store for any beer. But we'll just have to go out once again. We have to go out to Wilsonville. to enjoy Ordnance beer. But that's okay because they have cool stuff going on. And in fact, they have a Civil War watch party with Hop Valley at the Ordnance Tap House. And that is on Saturday at 6:30 p.m. So provided this show gets released before Saturday at 6:30 p.m., I hope you've heard about this in enough time to go and check that out. Please try their beer and tell them that the Brew Happy Show sent you. And of course, I wouldn't be who I am as the voice of beer and as Damien DeBizer if I didn't mention
good job.
that we have
Good job.
coming up
Good job.
one of the most important days of the year, one of the best events of all time. All time. The Stout Bout 2024.
Do you want to try that again with more echo?
The Stout Bout.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
That's what my job is, really, is just to turn knobs and make you sound good.
Thank you. That is the job.
Jess has been dying over here for the last, 10 minutes.
This is going to be at the ZPDX.
She's just laughing.
And this is at 5716 Southeast 9th Avenue.
How blind are you?
Well, I'm going to have probably my next round of glasses is going to be bifocals.
Probably should do that up that soon.
Really.
Hey,
I have an appointment set.
Are you as old as John all of a sudden?
Could be.
Yeah.
He's faking it. He dyes his beard.
You know, it's funny. John doesn't wear glasses and probably could, but you wear glasses and need a strong.
Are you seriously roasting me for wearing glasses?
I'm like the Superman of the team. I have
Get
no
out of
ailments.
here.
I don't need any crutches.
Whatever.
I don't lose my memory.
You're like 27.
I look bad sometimes.
You're also kind of outnumbered.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's 3 of us with glasses.
That's right. We
Yeah.
all have glasses. John's just not wearing his.
No, I do wear my blue light glasses when I work, but those are different because I stare at a screen for
blue light glasses.
Oh, that's so much worse.
Is that so you can see the red light district? I don't know what that's for.
Yeah, same. Purple.
Okay.
Gotta love the color purple. Right
There
there.
you go.
All
right, so we got Stout Bout coming up.
I'm excited for that.
And again, that is March 2nd.
You know who's making a stout for it?
2024.
I think I said this last week.
Oh yeah, lots of people are making
Mick
stouts.
Polanders are making a stout for it.
We have 30. We have over 30 entries.
I love it.
There's lots of stuff that's going to be happening at this event. We'll be talking more about it as we get closer to March.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, speaking of March, we're going to tell you again, March 10th is She Brew.
She Brew.
And our very own Jess here at TPK is going to be throwing in a beer in the mix. Maybe she'll win People's Choice. Maybe she'll win the whole damn lot. We'll find out. You don't know until you show up. You drink the beer. You try it out. You have fun. Afternoon, there's 2 sessions. You're going to enjoy it. SheBrew.beer. Guys, go check it out. Get your tickets now. VIPs get in an hour early. And that's where you want to try the home brews because they go quick.
It's true.
The homebrew competition does take place a weekend before She Brew.
Yeah.
You still have time to enter your beer if you want to. Do it. We advise it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, and it's a great way to support the human rights campaign as well as just women in craft beer.
Yeah, and there is still time to get your stouts into Stout Bout if you have a stout ready to go in. Obviously, by this point, it is too late to brew them.
You should, but I'd love to see you try.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
I've heard of a 3-day stout before.
I mean, Jen and Jeremy do it all the time.
Doesn't always work, but
no, doesn't always.
I don't think they're making stouts. When
if anybody's going to be able to make it work, those two can.
They can do some things that we don't ever know about.
All right. Well, I think that might be a wrap.
Let's get some more information about how and where and when you can visit TPK Brewing.
Elliot Kaplan and Jess. Wait a minute.
Oh.
Firebender. Moving on.
Shoot.
God, Firebender would be.
Start with an H.
I forgot your last name. It did start with an H.
It did. Still does.
Hask?
No.
No. Hoskins? No.
Have to pass the baton. Moving on.
All
right.
Tell me your last name, please.
Hardy.
Hardy. That's right.
You were so close.
I was close.
You got the hop.
Sorry, we all let you drown there.
Jessica.
You guys
Yeah,
did.
it's fine.
Like Harney School in Vancouver.
Yeah, Elliot and Jess, thank you guys so much for having us here at TPK Brewing. We really appreciate you guys spending your evening with us.
Yeah, it was fun.
Please,
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. What's the hours of operation?
please tell the fans.
We are open 11 to 11 every day except Tuesday.
Holy cow.
I like it.
Yeah,
What are you open Tuesday or closed?
We're
Tuesday is
closed.
my day.
Sorry, yeah.
Today is my day to
it's the
have it
Jess
all
day.
to myself.
Yeah, why not?
She plays her Dixie Chicks and she dances and makes beer. Not necessarily in that order.
That was a choice.
Probably none of those actually happens.
Well, the making beer one
The
happens.
making beer happens.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Beer
Well, I
definitely
close Sunday so I can watch football.
There
Well,
you go.
football's over now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it will be back.
Yeah,
We'll
in
be
August.
back. You can always watch the reruns.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, thank you guys again as always. Thank you for the events. Are there any events or releases coming up that you want the beer fans to know about before we exit?
Well, you guys already hyped up Shebrew. That would be my number one call out. Come support my friends. Have a good time. It's such a good event. We do it every year.
It is fun, yeah.
Thank
We'll
you.
be at the chili throwdown.
Oh
at
yeah,
Uptown
we're doing the chili
with
throwdown at
Envita.
Uptown. Yeah.
Oh, with Uptown?
Yeah.
I should know the date, but
Out
I
in
don't.
Beaverton?
Yeah.
They're right
There's
on. They're
quite
all,
a few of us in there.
It's 2 weeks.
I was there twice this past week. I had my lunch breaks there.
Yep, ChiliCon.
Yeah, right on. That's great. Beer fans, as always, I don't just like you, I love you, and I want to have a beer with you right here at TPK, where you too can get your game on. Keep brewing out there, beer fans. But as always, brew happy. Cheers. Be a good sport.
Thank you guys so much. This is killer. Sorry I spilled beer.
No, that's fine. This
But it was delicious.
He's never done that before.
Only like twice.
This production is brought to you by Brew Happy Media, the ultimate brewers media resource. For more information, go to thebrewhappyshow.com and brewhappypodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at Brew Happy. For more cigar pairings, please check out our sponsor, paulcigars.net. Questions, concerns, advertising, or guest relations, please reach us at brewhappypdx@gmail.com. Remember, brew happy, drink responsibly. Cheers.
Hey, I'm Jess.
And I'm Elliot.
We're at TPK Brewing.
And you're listening to The Brew Happy Show.
Damien, I need more beer.